Hi there.
And a pause today, and Megan Webb is our co-host today. So looking at our agenda, we're going to do updates from the PD centers, talk about new training conferences and statewide events, look at monthly webinar series announcements, testing updates, PD portal announcements, and PD coordinator time. So let's get started with our professional development centers, and Joan Jackson is up first.
Hi, everyone. I am here to let you know that registration is now open for the 2024 Career Pathways Symposium. It will be held May 20th through 22nd down in Corpus Christi, Texas. And this will be a hybrid event. So we will have sessions on site there at the Omni Hotel in Corpus Christi, but we will also be streaming them through vFairs. And I just put the link to register in the chat. You just go to symposium2024.vfairs.com, and we've got a little bit of info about the symposium on there. You click on register now, fill out your info, and it's quick and easy to register. We are going to have 3 different rooms this year, and each room is focused on different kind of roles within career pathways in AEL. We will have an administrator and leadership focused room. We will have an instructor focused room, and we will have a career navigator focused room. So encourage everyone to register. It is free to attend. You just have to pay your travel to get down to Corpus. If you've got any questions, I will drop my email address in the chat, and we hope to see you there. Thanks.
Hey, thank you, Joan. Looking forward to it. All right, next we have our Distance Education PD Center, and Rena Renteria will take this away, please.
Yes, thank you, everybody. So just a reminder that we are doing the 9th annual Distance Learning and Technology Integration Symposium this May 30th and 31st. We are going to be at the Region 20 venue where we had it last year. The address is up on the screen, 1314 Hines. Our keynote is Matt Miller with Ditch That Textbook. And just to let you guys know that only for the participants that are coming in person will receive of their choice one of the books that he has come out with. So we're very happy to have you guys there. And the link for the registration, which is now open, is in the chat that Megan just posted, but I will also post it again. So we hope to see you guys there. Next, please. And just to let you guys know that we've completed a couple of brand new trainings that are now available in the PD portal. The first one is the new digital literacy content standards. That's available in person and virtual. So please reach out to your PD coordinator or reach out to your programs to see if this is something that might be of interest. We also have the updated Distance Learning Academy Module 1 training. There is the online one, and in-person is also available. And of course, we're always promoting the DART training, available in person and virtual. Next, please. This month's Tech Playground is going to be on Remind. We are having B. Campuzano, one of the instructors from Community Action, will be on to show us about the new updates from Remind. We are having this on March 29th at 12, so please register on the PD portal. We hope to see you guys there right before you take off for Easter. Next slide, please. And just to bring in a Links coffee break session, this one is going to be on digital skills and plugging them into instruction. And it's going to be featuring our friends Jeff Gumas and Rachel Riggs. This is going to be March 28th at 1 p.m. I will include the link in the chat. If anybody is interested in registering, there's going to be some exciting updates on skill blocks. If you guys don't know what that is, I'm also going to include the link to that in the chat. It's a great resource, especially for teachers. Let me see. This is from Crowd Ed Learning, but it's amazing. I would love for you guys to go and check it out. Next slide, please. And this is our second to last one. We are hiring at the Distance Education Call Center. We're looking for on-call agents. It is part-time with $20 an hour. We are going to put the link in the chat. Basically what it is providing basic tech support and showing students and educators across the state how to use or implement DL curriculum or using EdTech tools. We'd love to have you guys, especially coming up this summer. We're going to really need some help at the call center, so thank you very much. And the last slide is, of course, the Distance Education Roadshow. So if those of you that don't know, the DEPDC also has a call center that provides basic tech support to all the students and teachers in the state for free. And we do offer a roadshow, which is it's basically just a presentation on what services are offered at the call center. And we can do any of the following types of versions, either like an in-class instruction, an hour, hour and a half, or even a 3-hour workshop to show to your teachers. So we're very excited about this, and this can be, of course, requested, and we will send out probably one of our agents that works at the call center to provide this training for you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rena, very much. All right, next we're going to move to new training conferences and statewide events. And our first one is the Literacy Symposiums, and that will be done by Beth Ponder.
All right. Thank you, Krista. Appreciate it. So just a reminder, Literacy Texas is going to be moving back to San Marcos this year.
Yay.
So yeah, we're excited to go back to San Marcos. So that'll be July 29th through the 31st. There are a couple of symposiums that are coming up in April. One is April 20th, which is the Literacy Symposium for faith-based affiliated programs. And that one's going to be online. And then April 23rd is Midwest Literacy Symposium, and that's going to be in Midland. And that's a new one. So that'll be the first time that we've done a literacy symposium out there. And then coming up May 9th, another online event, which is the Central Texas Literacy Symposium. And then June 14th will be the Gulf Coast. And next slide, just a reminder, COAB's coming up fast. So it'll be in Nashville, March 17th through the 20th. You can still register, though the hotel is full. So put it in the chat if you're going to join us in Nashville. There's a group of us that are going. We're all doing presentations, and so we're excited. That's, hometown for me is Knoxville, Tennessee. So it's kind of nice for me to get to go back. So we hope to see some of you there. Eduardo's going to be there. Yay!
Yay!
Cool. Well, we hope to see some familiar faces there in Nashville.
And there's what, 2,200 people you said? Almost 2,300 people have registered?
Over 2,000 this year. So it's a
Yeah,
big one.
real big one.
And
All
wear
those
your
people at the
walking-
Opryland.
Yeah, and wear your walking shoes because the Opryland Hotel is massive. Yay, Amber's going to be there too. Awesome.
Yay, awesome.
Now, just a reminder, they do have a virtual option. So if you don't have travel money and you can't get to Nashville, you can register and attend sessions virtually. So, okay, that's it from me, Krista.
All right, thank you, Beth. All right, next up is Anne Marie.
Thank you so much, Krista. So I am very excited to share with all of you this resource. And this is called the English Learner Family Toolkit. And earlier this month, Links shared this resource, and I quickly grabbed it and we cross-posted it and sent it out on several of the TCAL statewide listservs. And this is brought to us by the National Clearinghouse for English Language Acquisition. And so what this English Learner Family Toolkit is it's a resource that helps families support their children in school. And so it's focusing on different areas of need for parents. And So what it includes is actually there are 5 chapters with 6 sections each. So it goes over the types of questions to ask, the laws that protect families. And some of the topics are family and student rights, questions to ask schools, and then again, tips and resources. And the cool, well, it's very cool, as I said, but it has an app as well. And so you can download the app, the English Learner Family Toolkit app in Android and also Apple or iOS. And there's 4 different languages that are supported. So English, Arabic, Spanish, and Chinese. So I would be remiss if I didn't say, and maybe some of you are already thinking this, what a great resource to use for instruction on the Texas Adult Education and Literacy content standards, specifically family and civics, because they're addressing family issues and civics issues in here. So check it out. I actually had a couple people reach out to me already and say, this is really a neat resource. So let me know, email me and let me know how you're using it. And don't forget about the career navigators, because I think there's a place for possibly the career navigators to use this as well. So thank you, Krista.
Thank you, Anne Marie. All right. We have our first question and answers, and I've been watching the chat pod and I haven't seen any questions come through, but does anybody have any questions about anything we've talked about so far? All right, I'm going to press on. Next, we'll be talking about our monthly webinar series. And first up is Manager Monday and Wendy Christensen.
I'm here. Hello, everyone. Our next Manager Monday, March 25th, from noon to 1 p.m. And the topic this month is using the National Student Clearinghouse to track MSG Type 1B. And that's the MSG for determining if your AEL students have entered into post-secondary. And the presenter will be Elena Madrid from TWC. So I know that this is going to be a very interesting topic because National Student Clearinghouse is a resource that may be very helpful to your program. So this session is in the PD portal, ready for registration. So go ahead and share this information to any staff that may benefit from this knowledge. Next slide. And then in April, on April 22nd, the topic will be testing updates and changes. And I know this is a hot topic as well. And share this information with all of your program administrators, because this is the opportunity for them to hear any updates that are coming directly from TWC, and also to ask questions and gain whatever knowledge they are looking for regarding testing updates and changes. So please mark your calendars for March 25th and April 22nd. And then next slide. This is just a reminder of all of our upcoming dates. And somebody put it in there for me. Thank you. And go ahead and mark your calendars for those upcoming dates. They're not all in the PD portal yet because I'm still working on topics, which is a reminder that if you have any topic ideas, go ahead and send me an email, and I'll put that in the chat as well. Thank you, Krista. That's all for me.
All right. Thank you, Wendy. All right, next up is Teacher Tuesday. Our next one is March 12th, and this is introducing the MAC, which is the Math Assistance Call Center, where you can get free math tutoring for your students. And this will be Chandra Joshi, Paula Nations, and also Lori Slayton will be part of this presentation as well. So they're going to cover how to use the MAC to help students struggling with math concepts hear best practices for programs to utilize this free math tutoring resource, and hear from a Mac tutor on what to expect during a tutoring session, along with lots of time for your questions. So if you've been curious about the Mac or you want to start using it more, come to this session and hear about it. So that is March 12th at 12 o'clock. And then April 9th, we have our very own Anne-Marie Molinari-Sanders is going to present on copyright, Creative Commons, and OER are your friends. And this session will provide a brief overview of public domain, copyright, and Creative Commons as they relate to open educational resources. Participants will leave with a better understanding of Creative Commons and the power of licensing materials in a way that clearly shows how these assets can be used. They will also get an introduction to the basics of OERs, what they are, how they can be found, and how to attribute these resources. Please plan for an interactive session. And Maria will be asking you to use your mobile device, computer, or tablet during the webinar. And you will also receive a short list of OER digital resources to use immediately. So this one is very, very teacher focused. So please let your teachers know, and hopefully they can join us on April 9th. And as requested last month, here are the dates for Teacher Tuesday for the rest of the year through December. So I heard you, whoever asked for that, and I got it done. So there you go. All right, so next is Workforce Wednesday with Olga Escamilla.
Thank you, Krista. So March 27th, we will be having Capturing Career Services Part 2. And in this session, it's a continuation of our examination of the TWC AL letter 0203, Reporting Adult Education Literacy Career Services, and the Office of Career and Technical and Adult Education, or OCTAE, guidance on what a career service is. And this session will share about the I'll say teams, the Texas Educating Adults Management System coding. So remember last month we talked about the financial piece and how that would be recorded by your finance department or what have you. And this session is more about teams and coding entries in teams for various scenarios that are going to be shared. So join us for this. And next slide. And these are just our dates for the remaining, of course, March 27th, this coming end of the month session, and the rest of the dates, and we'll put those in the chat. So thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, next is Tech and Tell, and that is Anne-Marie.
Thank you again, Krista. So we are going to welcome back Katie Welch in April, on April 12th specifically. And in March, on March 1st, Dr. Welch introduced a wonderful resource called News and Levels. It's very simple, but deceivingly powerful in what it can do to help support English language learners and adult basic education learners in the classroom. And so on April 12th, and registration is available in the portal, Katie will discuss how to use this resource with differentiating instruction, which I think is very important. So she's going to look at different ways, and Katie is, will be her second time presenting, but she comes with a very strong background as a university instructor, teacher trainer, and an active volunteer in adult education classrooms. She teaches international students at UT Arlington English Language Institute and volunteers weekly in community-based ESL and GED programs. And she also does a lot of work with TESOL and presents at COABE. So very excited to bring Katie back. So next slide. And these are our dates coming up. Here again, we have April 12th, and in May and June, We are also welcoming a new presenter, Oscar Melgar from Victoria College, and he's an adjunct math professor and also an instructor for Victoria College. And he's going to be talking about a new math tool. So stay tuned for more information. And we hope to also, we're trying right now to coordinate a Remind Tech and Tell in April or at some point down the line. So thank you. Next slide. And as always, we appreciate you all so very much. And if you have ideas, please email us, and we're going to drop our email addresses in the chat pod and reach out to us with your webinar ideas. Thank you, Krista.
Thank you, Anne Marie. Appreciate that. All right, another Q&A. Anybody have any questions about anything pertaining to the monthly webinars? All right. Next section is training announcements and some testing updates. I know this is something that's very near and dear to everybody's hearts. There we go. I was trying to get the signs to stand up. So, all right, Tracy, take it away.
Thank you, Krista. And thanks for getting my signs to stand up. Those are signs. You have to have something cute in all of this, right?
Yes.
So these are the same slides. I've had the last PD coordinator webinar with some additions. You know, we're learning new things all the time, new dates, new information. I also went over these slides at the director call, TDBC director call, the last, I think that was 2 weeks ago. So bear with me. I know that we have new people in the field, and you may have thought of new questions that you have. I'm sure that your program is thinking about these testing transitions. So questions are good. And if you have them, please put them in the chat as I go through this. And you can always reach out and send questions to your program specialist or to myself as you're thinking about them, because I know your programs are in the planning phase of all these transitions. To this list, I realized that you see we've got the best products, the CASAS products, and then I added to this list the work keys, graphic documents, and work keys applied math, which ACT is the publisher for these two tests that the NRS approved last June. And so I think I've mentioned that we did a work group on those two testing tools, and Bahia has decided to allow you as the local program to decide if you wish to use those testing tools in the next program year. So we will be talking about that a bit as well. The current versions of, not the list on the left, but the current versions of tests that you're using right now are approved through June of 2024 of the best products, and then the CASAS math goals. That's currently in CASAS, the current versions of CASAS ESL. I'm sorry, that slide I may need to revise. Okay, let's go on to the next one and try that one. So we have secured the publishers to do some informational webinars coming up. As you can see, these aren't in the PD portal yet, ready for registration, but they will be soon. So you might just put these dates on your calendar. We'll be doing these in the afternoons on those dates. And so I want you to hear from the publisher directly about the new tests that they've got coming out. I'm also asking them to do kind of a general overview of their product and then the benefits of choosing their product, because as we all know, we're in an RFA process right now, and you as a program may choose to switch your testing products, but then we'll also have new grantees in the new program year. So we'll be recording these and putting these in the PD portal so that you can listen to them later if you choose to. So I'm excited. I think this is the first time we've actually gotten Cal to directly do an informational webinar for us. They're nonprofit, so they are a small staff, and they are very, very busy doing what they do. So I was really excited to get them to commit to a day. We're working on getting a informational webinar for work keys as well. And I'm waiting to hear back from them to see if we can get them somewhere between April 23rd and May 7th is my hope. Okay, thanks. Next slide. So just reviewing the Best Plus 3.0 that's coming up. I did find out just yesterday that the Best Plus 3.0 online course that is going to be available for free through August 2024, that will be coming out in May. So there's not a date, but it will be coming out in May. So I think we kind of thought it was going to come out sooner than that, but that at least gives your program a chance to figure out when people can start taking this course when it becomes available. It is an 8 to 10 hour self-paced course. It is a long one. So that's something to keep in mind as you're planning to train staff to be prepared to deliver the Best Plus 3.0 test to students. Everyone, any test administrator will need to go through training again. Best Plus 2.0 is definitely not the same as Best Plus 3.0. So training is absolutely mandatory in order to give the test. Tiffany, yes, I'm assuming that Cal will send out notifications on if you're on their listserv and get announcements from them, but we will also be sure to let you know. We've got a great contact with Cal right now, and that can change from time to time. Right now, she's very communicative and willing to answer questions. And as soon as we know, we'll be happy to let y'all know as well. Because I know there's a lot of quick turnaround time, definitely. So with certified Best Plus trainers, you can see there on the screen where any currently certified Best Plus trainer needs to take that course and then do the items listed under number 2. Well, I guess just the one item. Cal says they'll reach out to the trainers in the spring sometime, and we will be reinforcing that as well. Oh, Lorraine, that's a good question. Can the 20 tests be administered remotely? That's a great question. I'll have to find that out. I'm not sure that matters, but I think it's a wonderful question. Thanks, Lorraine. I will make a note of that question and ask. That's a good one. And this is why your questions are really important, because you're in the field and y'all are the boots on the ground. Seeing what you really need. We're just trying to help you. Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Tracy.
No, that's okay. I was done. So Best Literacy 2.0, we're working on this training. And this one, we hope to be able to have the trainers ready early June, maybe late May. I know May is such a busy month at the program level. Well, what month is not busy, right? In adult ed, we're always running. We're really grateful that Cal has given our state trainers access to their online course. They've developed an online course through Cal for Best Literacy 2.0 that will, when it's available, will be $50 a pop to take. So we're very grateful they've given us access to the whole course, the videos, everything. So that's why we're creating our Texas style version so that you get it for free. You'll just have to come to the TOT. So we'll plan to have the TOT, and we are hoping to get dates ready as soon as we can so that y'all can be planning to send staff to that TOT. And we are going to start doing well, I think I've mentioned this before. We're doing these TOTs face to face because the quality is so much better. We're able to see people's faces, answer questions, be right there at the computer. If we're using computers, this one we don't, but it makes a huge difference, we have found, when we do these face to face. Okay, next slide. CASAS. Okay, we're working on revising the Texas style CASAS test administrator trainings. We do have actually May 23rd, we have the webinar date scheduled for a recertification webinar time. It'll be 3 hours with the currently certified trainers. The materials will not change dramatically, but they'll change enough that we feel like a recertification webinar is warranted. And then once that happens on May 23rd, currently certified trainers can begin to update their test proctors in order to begin to do the new CASAS tests when we can do the pilots and begin them in July. And so we'll be doing that. We'll be doing a TOT most likely for any new trainers in June, not May. So this recertification webinar will be in May and a TOT in June. So there goes summer vacation, right? Anyway, okay, next slide. It's just a busy time. TABE, if you were at Taley and were able to go hear Chastity Wright and Mike Johnson, their sessions, they went over a lot of the updates coming up with TABE. We are having an informational webinar with them on April 16th. And what we're really waiting on with TABE is approval from the NRS for TABE Class C, the new test forms of C and D, which start July 1st. And the test really isn't, I mean, the way you train on the test isn't changing. It's just updated forms, if you will. And so we do have TABE Class C online trainers available if you need one. And if your program needs a training in TABE Class C right now, the training will be good now and carry through when programs start using forms C and D. So the training doesn't change, you're just swapping out forms. TABE 1112 is approved through June 2025. And we're going to have to wait to see what Mahaya decides to do about our transition in Texas to TABE 1314. It will probably come out, the tests will be available, they're saying next fall. They did say September 1, but they keep pushing that date back a bit at DRC. But Mahaya is going to decide when our state will transition from 1112 to 1314. Let's see. I'm trying to look at the chat here real quick. Lorraine, I think there's a question. Okay.
Yeah, there's two questions there,
Okay.
Tracy.
Two, and I think, let me scroll up.
One is from Jan.
Yes, will you remind us of the training and will it be in TCall? Okay, and are you talking about CASAS, Jan?
Yes, CASAS, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, yes, we'll remind you of the training and we will send out emails about this recertification webinar on May 23rd. And it will be in the afternoon of May 23rd. So if you're a certified trainer and you're listening to me right now, I would go ahead and mark that down on your calendar. We will be sending out emails, blitzing emails, and talking about this in this format like we are today. So, and we'll try to remind you as often as you'll get tired of hearing us remind you of all of these things. But good question, good thought.
Thank you.
Because we want everyone to come. It's going to be, pretty much for certified trainers, mandatory to come to that if you want to continue training on the new CASAS or begin training on the new CASAS materials. Okay, Lorraine, how will the thumb drives? Best Plus, it's going to be web-based, so you're not going to need thumb drives and softwares, my understanding. So that's a great question too. So it's web-based, so that is pretty exciting. Good questions. Okay, and then I was talking about work keys earlier. These are the 2 new tests, and these are for HSE students. And when we did the work group, most people felt like it would really work well for IET students and those students that are maybe workplace trainings, that kind of thing. I'm still learning a lot about this, and we're all going to be learning about this. And they are excited to work with Texas. That's what they say. And we're just hoping they just take a while to respond to emails. So anyway, we'll get them on board. But I think this is an exciting new test series that can be given for those IET students and those classes, and really be work-based assessments. And okay, one more slide. This is kind of just a visual timeline, and I realized as I was looking at this slide before I was speaking, not all of these are trainings. I probably should have taken that word out, because we've got these informational webinars. And then we're starting with the Texas Style Certified CASAS Trainer Recertification webinar. Now that's a mouthful, on May 23rd. And that's really when our training will kick off, is May 23rd, if you will. You know, we are working very hard with the publishers to get materials from them, to get all the information we can to get trainings ready to go. It is a tight timeline. And at the program level, TDBC is going to provide more guidance to you all about how to transition. But one of the things I'll just mention right now is that your program needs to be ready to post-test on a lot of those tests that are ending. The Best Plus 2.0, Best Literacy, the CASAS math goals that is being used right now, and the current version of the CASAS ESL tests. Everyone needs to be post-testing those tests by June 30th. In most cases, for most of you, you'll be rebaselining everyone on most all the tests. It just kind of happens this is a crunch year where everything's changing. It feels like it's changing all at once. Pretty much is. So it's just a lot of planning, you know, on your part as a program, planning for training, planning for post-testing, planning to baseline again when July starts. So a lot of moving parts. So good luck with all your planning, which really should start now. Your planning for all of this should be starting now. Jan's asking, we're adding a new TOT for CASAS. If it's a new person who's not been through our training of trainer for CASAS, they will need a brand new TOT. So the recertification in May is not for someone who is not a current trainer. So we plan to have in June a Texas style CASAS TOT for any brand new trainers in June. I hope that answers your question. Okay. That was a lot.
Always is.
Oh my gosh, but I hope it's starting to get more clear to everybody. But again, and questions, just please ask them. Please don't hesitate to email me. I'll put my email address in the chat. And if you've got questions and we don't know a lot of the answers, you know, I'm emailing publishers as we get questions to get answers. So thanks, Krista.
Thank you, Tracy. All right, we will watch the chat for any additional questions. All right. let's press on to PD portal announcements. And I don't want to go to the next slide, Deb,
I don't either.
but I will. Here we go.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's with, my cute little images aren't going to come. Oh, there they are. It's with some pride and a little bit of sadness that I announced that our sweet Laura will be leaving us tomorrow. It's her last day here at T-Call. She's been with us about 7 years, and she's going to be embarking on a new adventure as an LMS administrator with a company called Neighborly. I guess she missed Katie because she'll be joining Katie again, as Katie is working with Neighborly. So I'm happy for her in that aspect. You know, I've spent a little bit of time reflecting on the contributions she's made to the success of the PD portal during her time with us. And I wanted to thank her publicly for her dedication and passion that she's given to adult ed. It really means a lot to the team at T-Call, and we're going to miss you, incredibly miss you, Laura, your presence, your expertise. But I'm excited that you're going to have a wonderful journey to continue your profession. And I just want everybody to join me in wishing Laura the best of luck in her new adventure, and knowing that she's going to have a lasting impact here at T-Call and in adult ed in Texas. So thank you, Laura, very, very much.
Thank you, Deb. All right. We did get a question from Lorraine Romero. Before we lose it, Tracy, do you want to address that?
Yes, thank you. I was just thinking about putting that in the chat, but this will save me all those keystrokes. The Best Plus 3.0 online training from Cal is for currently certified test administrators and new ones. So it'll serve the purpose for both, because everyone has to be retrained. So, and it's free through August. So everybody plan to take advantage of this through August, and there will be TOTs for Best Plus 3.0 after that point in time. But great question, Lorraine. So everyone, currently certified test administrators and any new ones that you wish to have proctoring and administering tests.
All right. Thank you, Tracy. All right. Back to PD Portal, and Jessica Beatty, please take it away.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Following up with what Deb was saying about Laura, if anybody has any questions or needs support, and she might have been your point of contact, if you could email us at pdportal@tamu.edu. That way, all of your questions can be directed to one place, and we can make sure that we get it addressed in a timely manner. We are going to miss her greatly, and I'm going to do my best to live up to her standards. And I learned a lot from her, so thank you everything you've done, Laura. And then we have some new courses in the PD portal. We have 2 Teacher Tuesdays. I'm not a counselor, but my students need help. I've seen some people taking that one recently, so I'm glad you all are seeing that. And then also, what does self-care really look like? Tech and Tell, get your whiteboard options out of a jam with Fig Jam. And then Manager Monday, construct, constructed, constructivism, constructive deviance. So those are all available in the PD portal currently. Thank you from Yoli and I for getting those user audit back to us so timely. You all were great in getting those to us, and we were able to clean up the users a little bit based on those that are no longer serving in your programs. The next step that we are going to look at is deactivating any accounts that have not been activated or accessed prior to January 23. So in the past year. We're a little bit behind on that, so we're going to do that next. So please encourage your staff members to make sure that they're logging in regularly to their PD portal so that account doesn't get deactivated. The information doesn't go anywhere. It's still there, but it's just one extra step for them to get that account reactivated. This month, we have some PD portal updates. Cornerstone is pushing out some new updates. We are looking at those currently, and we're not seeing anything major that's going to impact you all as users. But if we see anything, we'll make sure to let you know through either an email or a pop-up in the portal. But the this pop-up will show up here the week after spring break to say that the portal will be unavailable on Friday, March 22nd, starting at 7:30. Usually it's only for a few hours, but safe to say that it'll be up and running again on Saturday, March 23rd.
All right, thank you, Jessica. Any questions for Jessica or our last chance with Laura? She says that she's leaving us in good hands, and yes, Jessica is going to be fantastic. All right. Okay, so now we are at PD coordinator time. And I'm actually not going to talk this time. I'm going to let Beth take it first.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it, Krista. And again, best wishes to Laura. We're going to miss you terribly. So what I wanted to remind everyone, as part of our deliverables to TWC every year, we do a statewide PD needs assessment. And like what you do at your local program, where you do a PD plan, we put together a statewide PD plan and recommendations that we pass on to TWC. And that is it's an important document to us because it really does kind of help guide our work as far as content development across all of the PD centers for the next year. So it's really, really important that we get feedback from you, from your teams, both administrators, instructors, data people, everybody that we can possibly touch, so that we get a good overall picture of what your needs are around professional development for the coming year. So Megan has put the link to the Qualtrics survey. It should only take 10-15 minutes to fill out. So if I can ask you again, please to go ahead and share that out with your staff. We have extended the deadline to March 15th, and that's going to be a hard deadline. At that point, we will close the survey and start evaluating the data. So just please share so that we can do good work for you in the coming year. Thanks. That's it, Krista.
Thank you. And if you need the link by email, go ahead and email me and I will be happy to send you the link or QR code again. All right. So it is now March. We're already looking ahead to the end of this program year. And one of the things that we always talk about is getting staff development into teams. And so that is a very important part of being a PD coordinator. And so at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Wayne, who is going to just do a quick training on searching, adding, and what you do to help us help you get things into teams. So Wayne, it is all yours.
Thank you, Krista. So we're looking at basically how to look for these staff development activities in teams. And I know you guys, most of you have been doing it for a good long time, so it may just be a review. There are some new folks in here. So we're just gonna kind of run through this and give you some tips and ideas of how to make this a little bit easier on everybody. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was when you go to do a search, there's two trainer provider boxes there. The one is going to be the training provider that says national, state, TCAL, TWC, but there's also another one that has the local programs in there. So when you're looking for something that is a local program or a statewide training, you're going to leave that first one blank. So that's going to be the ones that you put in for yourself, or one that one of your neighbors put in and you sent somebody to it. And then the national conferences are going to be conferences like, well, and it's not just conferences, we say conferences, but the national venue. So it'll be like Pro Literacy or COABE, or if there's a webinar for one of the DL curriculums or one of the testing vendors, then it'll also be under national conference. State conferences are going to be like Tele and Literacy Texas, any other organization that's a statewide organization. A lot of times they're sister organizations to another larger one, like Tele is a daughter to COAB. And then TCAL is going to be, for anything that you're going through the PD portal to get to, it's going to be TCAL. And then TWC is going to be like the Fall Institute or the TWC conference will be there. The big thing to remember about this is you got to remember who is, where each one of these kind of trainings go to. And it does kind of get a little bit confusing sometimes. So I thought maybe that we would pop over to Teams real quick. Okay, so you guys should be seeing the Teams login screen. And of course, it timed out on me while I was waiting for my turn to talk. So I'll just go ahead and log in real quick. And when you log in, you're going to get to this page. And you just go to the state development and click on that one, and it's going to come up on that page that I showed you the screenshot on the previous slide. And this is going to be where that training providers are. If you click there, you're going to pick on which one it is. And then it should come up with your program on the top. If it comes up with, so a few of you have multiple grants, so you may have more than one in the list, or you may be looking at looking for a training that some other program put in there. And you can just go down through and select the one that you want, but it should default to your program. And you'll see when you do the default that they start and they look at statewide is what it's going to look at. If it's blank and then this, all these are going to be statewide. So when you put in a local training, that's how it's going to show up, the statewide. Now, I know a lot of you have probably noticed that it says Aztec training right there. And you say, wait, that's supposed to be a national training. Well, the reason that that one is there is because Aztec did a training for this particular program just for them. So they put it in themselves as a local sponsored training. Okay. So when you're looking for these, you're going to pick the kind that you want. So if you just say it's a conference, it's a national conference because you know that somebody did a links conference. So you're going to type in links, it's a search button, and it'll give you a whole list of whatever links it was. So these are the ones that have been put in so far this year. If you know more about the title and you want to put more in, you can put more in there, but you don't have to have the whole complete title in order to get a list generated for yourself. But it's only going to show the ones that are national if you're on the national. If you click over to state, then you shouldn't see anything at all because links, of course, is a national venue. If you decide that you're looking for a state conference, then you can put something else in. So we know that there's a lot of literacy stuff for Literacy Texas. So when you do that, I use literacy, and anything that had literacy in the title is going to pop up there. Of course, if you have more of the title, you can put it in. If you were looking at some other word because you were trying to discriminate it, you may have, I saw tools was one of the words in there. So if I do that one there, I come up with a shorter list. So you can just look for them that way. When you get to TCAL, most of these, the ones that are here should already be in here when you go look for it. You should never have to worry about them being in there. If it's not in there for some reason, then reach out to your PD specialist and we'll help you find it, or we'll get it put back in. Excuse me, we'll get it back put into the team so that you can find it. And then, of course, TWC ones, we'll put all those one in as well. We will only put in all of the Fall Institute ones because we know that that's pretty much all adult education. But if you look here and you're looking, somebody went to the main TWC conference, the statewide conference, and they attended a session, you're probably gonna have to request that that be put in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing and let Krista put up the PowerPoint again. And while we're doing that, if you guys had any questions, I'll be happy to entertain.
Do you want me to show the form? I got a little bit distracted, so.
You should be, that one's good where we're at, I think.
Okay.
I was just looking to see whether we had anything come in.
I haven't seen any questions about this,
Okay.
no.
So, and this is just kind of a summary of what we talked about with a little bit more information. So you'll hear us all kind of talk about, it's a local training, put in as a local program, and we'll tell you to put it in as a local training. That's going to mean when you go to fill it out, if you didn't put it in there, you know it's not there. But when you put it in, you're going to leave that first one blank. Go back one for just a second. No, up one. There we go.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. But when you actually see it on the list, it's going to start with statewide, and there'll be a hyphen, and then it'll be the grantee name. So if it's something you put in, it'll have your grantee's name there. If you're looking for something that somebody else put in, it'll have their grant name put in there. Okay? You're going to put in all those ones as a local training, of course, yours. Other programs will put in theirs. So if it's not in there, we may have to do some conversating with them, make sure that they have it put in, so you can associate your folks. TCAL will put in all of the trainings that are under national conference, state conference, TCAL, or TWC. Okay. We will automatically put in those ones like Tele and Literacy Texas, the TWC Institute, DLTI, the Career Pathway Symposiums, and anything that TCAL sponsors will automatically put those in there. But if it's something like from Links or from COABE, then you're going to have to make a request for us to put it into Teams. You can go to the next one now. And you're going to have to fill out this little form. It's an Excel spreadsheet. You can get it from the PD portal. I believe somebody's going to drop in the link. It's a deep link to the PD portal where you can get to this, or you may already have one squirreled away, and you're just going to put in the name of the conference that it's coming from. So if it's like a Links training or COABE or Literacy Texas or whatnot, you'll put it there, and then you're going to put the name of the activity. You want to make sure you're using the same name that's going to be on your certificate that you're using to put it in there, so that they'll match up for when you get monitored. And then, although it's not mandated in Teams that you put a description in, when we put them in, we always want to put in a description. So if you could provide us with a description of that training, that'll save us a lot of time putting it in, because then we have to go out and find that description someplace. And then you're going to provide the maximum hours that it's somebody can earn through doing that training. And then you're going to put in the begin date and the end date. A lot of if it's a recorded webinar and it's something people are going to go sign into, and they can do it in their pajamas at nighttime, then usually we're going to put that in as a date range, because it didn't happen on a particular day, and we'll just make one entry for everybody who did having fun with numbers. And you'll just be able to go in there and select that one, but you need to give us an indicator of whether that was just a 1-day thing or whether it was a recorded asynchronous program. And I think that just about covers everything unless anybody has some questions.
All right, thank you, Wayne. I really appreciate you going through that. And I did see a few people saying thank you for the clarification. And Tracy just put, please provide the exact description for a session. Helps us tremendously. So yes. All right, thank you, Wayne. And I know I'm looking at the time, it's exactly 3 o'clock, so I'm gonna push through very quickly. Our next PD coordinator webinar is April 11th. So we will see you then. Rena, do you want to talk about the call center real quick?
Yes, just wanted to again say if there's any EdTech tools that you're going to be or your teachers are doing an upcoming training on, please refer them to the call center. We can help them get started or learning how to navigate it. Again, please push the roadshow. We're very happy to go and show your programs what we have to offer. I am going to include the call center website and phone number in the chat. So you guys have that information. And we also offer free, we will mail them to you, posters, magnets, and stickers. It's on our website. Thank you.
Thank you, Rena. All right. I'm not seeing any last minute questions, but go ahead and pop them in if you have them. Okay, Jody just says, how do you sign up for the roadshow? You go through your your PD specialist, and they will work with the DEPDC to get through that. All right, awesome. All right, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you April 11th. Remember to email anybody if you have any questions. And have a really good spring break if you get to have one.
All right, thank you, everybody. I'm going to close the meeting and you can all continue on with your day.